In 6 months, my relative went back to the walk-in clinic where she was diagnosed with cancer cells in her cervix, and there were none. I said, this is amazing. As a natural medicine practitioner, we have to be empathetic instead of sympathetic.
Hi, first of all, I'd like to thank you, Rosanna, for taking the time to talk to me today. I'm glad that you said yes to this. So, what is your origin story? What made you decide to get into acupuncture?
Is a very long time ago, I used to have a corporate job. It was very stressful, and a family member was diagnosed with cancer cells in her cervix. At that time she didn't have insurance, and we heard of an acupuncturist who was in Little Neck, Long Island. I used to live in Yonkers. We decided to go see him, and I would take her 2 times a week for about 6 months. And during the time that we were waiting, I was waiting for her to get her treatments. She used herbal medicine, and she used acupuncture, also some supplements. So basically a holistic approach. He would put a couple of needles on me, and he probably saw how stressed out I was. It was great because I was zen out. I was so relaxed by the end, although we had to drive an hour in and an hour back home. So we would be back pretty late at night. And I just felt amazing. It was just simple points while I was sitting, hands and feet, and my head. In 6 months, my relative went back to the walk-in clinic where she was diagnosed with cancer cells in her cervix, and there were none. So when I saw that, I was still working in a very stressful and hectic environment. I said, this is amazing. Both of my parents are physicians, so I know the limitations and the benefits of conventional medicine. So, they say you're knocking all doors open. I went to an open house, and that same day I signed up, and I never looked back. It's been a life-changing experience for me. My family member became my patient, and she's still doing very well. It was the best thing I did.
Oh, that's actually a really profound and interesting story.
Yeah.
How does that relate to your specialty? Like, who do you like to work with? Like, what community do you like to serve?
So I always had a passion for women's health, starting with my own health. I found a lot of blocks, including how medication sometimes is just an emergency band-aid, and sometimes something as simple as a contraceptive pill, which I'm not against any of those medications because I think it helps a lot in some cases, is the solution. And in most cases, we can integrate our medicine with conventional medicine. And I would say 99.9% of the time we can integrate. For me, I just found a lot of blocks for women's health. Let's say the pill, as I mentioned. The pill is one of those medications that help while you're taking it. But if you want to have a child, if you want to conceive, and you had heavy bleeding, or you had a lot of dysfunction in your womb, and you stop the pill, you basically go back to where you were. So it's not a permanent solution. And I find that that's very challenging for most women. And that's why I focus on women's health. That includes gynecological conditions such as PCOS, PMDD, which is it's a very easily missed condition. Fibroids, cysts, painful periods, endometriosis, and also difficulty conceiving. I never even mentioned getting pregnant. I would say having a healthy baby is the most important when we're treating fertility. And also keeping the mother healthy, the whole family, because we know that the partner also suffers if the pregnancy is not going as well, or if there is difficulty conceiving. It is wonderful to see the results of Chinese medicine, and along with functional medicine and nutrition. So it's a really holistic approach, and how we can help women that find very little solutions out there for their problems.
So how do you explain to new patients or new clients what it is that you do and how you can help them?
I see this the medicine that I practice as a vessel to help awaken the powerful medicine that our body is secreting, and also make it easier for the body to heal, helping people be empowered, helping women feel empowered to know that they don't always have to go somewhere to feel healthy. Once they learn how to care for themselves, they don't really need anyone. Ideally, I tell my patients, once you get the results you're looking for, once you achieve your goals, you can come every day if you like. I love you, and I love to have you here, but that's not the purpose of our medicine. The purpose of our medicine is to empower women to really know how to care for themselves.
So what are some common misconceptions about what it is that you do, helping women with Chinese medicine?
I believe that the biggest misconception out there is that natural medicine takes a long time to help. And one of the reasons why I studied functional medicine combined with Chinese medicine is because I find that all Chinese medicine in general, and I would say, acupuncture, herbal medicine, Eastern nutrition, can really be aid. The healing process can be accelerated if we address some other foundation aspects of our health. Sometimes we have a patient who has 40 years, 10 years, 5 years, even 2 years with a condition. Once they start getting the treatments and once they start really getting empowered and learning how to address the root cause and getting help from us, it's going to take less than what they've been sick for. It's not necessarily that you're not absolutely heal immediately, but things also get worse. So not only are you getting better, but you're also not getting worse. And that's a big factor for patients who are hopeless.
That's a really good distinction to make because I've heard that misconception before. So what would you say is the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part for me is when I see a patient I can help and I have to pull myself back. And I'm not talking about people who are looking for help. I'm talking about my family. I'm talking about people who I see walking, that I could see their pain, and it could be emotional pain. I could see their pain on their faces, and I'm like, I can help that person. And then I'm so tempted to just go and tell them what I see, because as practitioners, we can see a lot. So I have to remind myself when I see a person who's not asking for my help, not to go crazy and tell them, hey, here, I can help you. I know what you're going through. And this happened in the train too. When I'm in the subway and I'm sitting down, I look at this person, I'm like, okay, I know what's going on with this person, but I have to refrain myself because they probably think I'm crazy, But that is the hardest part. When I know that I can help someone and that person is not ready, I have to pull myself back and remember that we're never late. A lot of my patients tell me, I wish I had started this earlier. Who knows what I would be if I started this earlier? And I tell them, you're never late. This is the moment. This is the moment that is the right moment for you to start.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there. I'm like, oh my gosh, this person, but you can't do that.
Yeah.
What would you say is the easiest part of your job?
Okay, this was something I learned. The easiest part of my job is not to take away my patient's power. One of the reasons why practitioners who work with, I would say, natural medicine is to get burnt out, because we're working with energy. We're working with very serious issues. Our patients tell us things that they don't tell anyone. Very personal, deep trauma, and for me, I had to work on this very much at the beginning, because I wanted to almost take their pain away in the first treatment. And then I realized that as a natural medicine practitioner, we have to be empathetic instead of sympathetic with our patients. What that means is that if somebody falls in a hole, I cannot jump in the hole with them. I have to be in a position to throw them a rope or a ladder so they can climb out, or build that bridge so they can cross it back. And so at the beginning, for me, it was very important to learn that. So when I look at a patient, no matter how ill they are, I know that who they are and their body and their ability to heal is there 100%. If they need me all the time to be healthy, then I'm not doing my job.
Yeah, that's very true. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But what keeps you motivated to stay in the industry? What keeps you motivated to continue to do what you do?
I would say that what keeps me motivated is my patients and their progress. While I don't see it as a reward, because again, I do believe that I am a vessel. I play a part because I study and I'm an expert, but in the end, it's their body that does the work. My inspiration and my motivation to keep going is to know that there are so many women to be helped, and that a lot of times, most of the times, they're not getting the help they need. And I want to be the person who's there when they look for help. And we were just there to support them and to kind of guide them and to help them come out of the hole or cross the bridge back to where they want to be.
What is it that you wish that people knew about what it is that you do?
What I want patients to know, people who watch this video, which I'm sure is going to be a lot of people, is that when you feel stuck, it doesn't mean that there is no solution. It just means that we don't know, we haven't found the answer, and that there is an answer to every problem. It can feel very disappointing. It could feel very desperate. It could feel very hopeless to not see how you can get out of it. But there are a lot of practitioners and experts that are there who are there trying to help, and we know what we're doing, and we know we can help, and we know exactly what to do to help our patients get back to health and get back to vitality and joy. That's what I want people to know, that there is hope and that they can heal.
That's really profound, and I agree with everything you just said.
Thank you. Yes, we study in the same school, so
Yes, yes. And you said it, but the way you put it was so beautiful. I'd like the way you said it. I don't think I could have, said it in that way. So do you have a story that captures that sticks out to you that's happened in your life?
absolutely. I would say, there are so many stories, but I just want to take three out. Like just three very quick ones. The first one, it was a diabetic patient. I mean, she had lost left leg function. So she was walking on crutches for a couple of years. And she was referred to me by her sister. And, when I saw her, I said, when you leave those crutches, I want you to bring them here to me because you're not going to use them anymore. And about, I would say, 4 or 5 months of us working together. And she said to me, this, and I'm not going to say the name of the patient. She left her crutches at my apartment. We had a party yesterday. She lived on the 4th floor without an elevator. And she left her crutches at her house.
Wow.
So I said, those crutches, you should have brought them to me because I don't want her to have it at home. And then I have a fibromyalgia patient, which are very dear to my heart because it's inflammation on fire. Basically, it's 100%. The body just very high levels of inflammation with no medication that can help. And this was a telehealth patient. I treated her. She doesn't live in New York. And this patient went from having diabetes, having thyroid conditions, having fibromyalgia, having heart problem, cholesterol problem, to not being able to work and being very overwhelmed, to going back to work, to feeling happy. Actually, some of her family members are asking, what happened to you? Like, what have you been doing? She was feeling joyful again. And she's about to get off of some medications that she's been taking. So we're still working. It's a very current patient that I have. And it's just very, it's great to see a patient who takes on their own responsibility and their life back to own it and say, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to follow this treatment plan. And I'm going to do the best I can. Is it going to be 100% all the time? No, no one is 100%. But one little step you take can change and transform your life. And then the third patient is a fertility patient. She wanted to get pregnant. She reached out and she started coming back from where she was living. And we started treatment. And approximately after 2 months of us working together, she got pregnant and she just had a baby girl. She really trusted that she can get pregnant with our process. Just like those three patients, those are a great example of what keeps me motivated and what really brings a lot of joy into our practice, not only to me, but also to my staff, which I'm so grateful for. Bianca, Stephanie, Cindy, it's just, we are a great team and we really take it seriously when we take on a patient.
Amazing. Those are really interesting stories. And I'm sure that there are other people who have similar experiences and they wish that they could find someone like you. And thank you for doing this. Once again. And one last question. If there's any person that you wish would take advantage of what it is that you do, your help, who would you recommend to help, that you could help? Like what kind of person would you think who really needs what you do?
Definitely women who are having difficulty with their health. Yes, there are going to be obstacles. They build character and they keep us going, but not to the point that you feel hopeless. So women who are busy, find it difficult to connect and find self-care. Those are the women who I love to treat because I know that they will be committed and that they have a big problem that we can solve. So for me, any woman who's looking for help to live a life full of joy, that is the woman I want to reach out to and tell them that it could happen and that they can be happy and they can be healthy and they can live a life where they feel good when they wake up in the morning.
I'm sure that a lot of women will definitely need that help, myself included, but
Yes.
It's really important. It's really important. So, thank you once again for doing this. Your perspective was really interesting. I just like the way you put things was really different and unique, and I appreciate that.